Hi everybody, my name is Eileen McKusick and I'm the inventor of the Sonic Slider, which is this tuning fork right here. It is 93.96 hertz and I'm using it with a circuit boot on the end. And this is just a quick little video to show you, if you have a Sonic Slider, how you can use it on friends and family and colleagues in these like little mini sessions that will help them to feel better quickly. So this is my friend Tara. We're here in Jamaica where I'm living at the moment, and she's volunteered to be our demonstration body. So anytime that you're going to work with somebody else, you want to prep them for the fact that they're going to need to breathe while you do this. Okay, so this is the most important thing. So if you can be barefoot and they can be barefoot, that's ideal. But if you're in some kind of professional setting where people can't take their shoes off, that's okay too. You can work around that, okay? But the kind of breathing that we do in this work is we breathe into our bellies. So Tara, go ahead and breathe into your belly. And when you exhale down to the ground with your energy. And you can do that out your legs and feet, or you can kind of open up space around your tailbone, which is always a good idea, and sort of breathe out your tailbone. So breathe into the belly. And then sometimes if you need to take a big breath, it's a, like a big sigh to really kind of let that tension out, okay? So you want to be breathing like that, and you want them to be breathing like that. And then you just want to ask permission. Tara, is it okay if I use the tuning fork right on your body?
Sure.
Yeah, so you just want to, you don't ever want to like come in on somebody and immediately start working without prepping them for it, okay? You want to get permission, you want to make sure that they're breathing. Now, a really simple way to do this, you can activate it with the palm of your hand, like so. And I also have these green strikers which rest on a tabletop, and they're very handy because you get kind of tired of hitting it on your hand after a while, especially if you're small boned or something like that. So you want to just hit it on the striker like so. I'm going to leave it right here on the table behind me, and I'm just going to activate it on that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put it, hold on, I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to hold it. That makes it a little bit easier. If you have one hand free, you can definitely hold it. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it on Tara's sternum, and I'm going to let the vibration just run down. And usually the vibration lasts about 20 seconds or so. So you just do that, and you do that a few times. And you just kind of come in on that sternum. And what this does is it radiates this frequency throughout the whole skeletal system. And this frequency is based on the Schumann resonance, which is the natural electric pulse of the Earth's atmosphere. It's around 7.83 hertz. This is 7.83 times 12. So I'm going to do 3 applications in the sternum because that's what I feel like doing. You might find that 1 or 2 or 4 or 5, you just kind of feel into it and notice what their response is. Good. So what are you noticing, Tara?
Like it's a vibration that kind of relaxes you.
Yeah, it just kind of relaxes you right away. Yeah. So you can place it on the sternum. That's super easy to do. And then because the circuit boot has this defined edge, right? There's a kind of defined edge there. The little divots there trap sound between the base of the dimple and the surface of the skin. And so they send these little like sound pulses into the body. So then you can come up, everybody's got tension in their shoulders and neck, right? So I'm just going to come up, and what I'm doing is I'm applying the fork to her trapezius muscle. Now, when people first start using weighted forks on other people, they have a tendency to just rest the fork, okay? Now there's a really big difference between resting the fork and then pressing on it, okay? Now, when I press on it, I'm not using my hands and arms. I'm using the weight of my body. This is really important because if you're trying to do this with your hands and arms, you're going to get tired quick. But if you lean the weight of your body into the pressure, right? And what's the difference, Tara, between more pressure and no pressure?
I feel it more.
You feel it
pressure.
More. Yeah, and it's sort of more satisfying, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's more effective with more pressure. And you can do this on bare skin, and you can do it through clothes, okay? So it doesn't need to be on bare skin. Clothes are fine too. And I'm actually kind of sliding along her trapezius. In fact, Tara, why don't we have you spin around so people can see exactly what I'm doing? So I'm just coming in and I'm sliding along that trapezius muscle, and I'm sort of digging in. I did this somebody on the beach the other day who'd just come from the States to Jamaica, one of the first people, first week to get in. And her shoulders were like this. And I worked on one side and it did that. And then, and then I had to work on the other side for it to do that. Okay, because sometimes people, especially if they're really stressed, they're holding so much up there. And this is just such a simple way to just kind of iron that stuff out. You know, and you can hold it, you can rub it, you can slide it like that. You can slide it directly on the spine. So, you know, if you can access somebody's whole spine, whether they're sitting in a chair like this, or if they're lying down, because you can obviously do this lying down too. It's just easier in a chair, you know, with these like 5 or 10 minute sessions. But there's a technique called the spine slide that we do with the circuit boot, where you just go right down on the spinous process, like all the way down the spine, all the way down to the sacrum, You don't want to go into the tailbone region because that's a little nudgy. And you can do that bidirectionally. You can slide up and you can slide down on the spine, and you can also go up and down the erector spinae muscles, right? And then another thing that you can do too with the sonic slider is not just use it on the body, but you can use it in the body's energy field to draw away, to just kind of draw away. A lot of people have like thunderclouds over their heads. It's just all the too much thinking. And when you do this very gentle combing up and away, it can kind of lift that feeling of heaviness. A lot of people feel heaviness on their chests, on their shoulders. And this very simple action of just doing this 3 or 4 times can help kind of lift somebody. It can help take that pressure off. And you can do that. You can do this pulling away around the head, the front and the back. So, you know, I'm just pulling away from the front of her head. And you can do this, you know, we have energy centers in the head and the throat and the heart. And so you can do front and back, you know, just a few times of this motion of just moving straight away from the body. And you'll feel, like I can feel right here in her heart, it's kind of thundery. And so what you want to do is you want to keep on pulling through until you feel a consistent thrum in the tuning fork through your fingers the whole way to the front of the field, which is about 6 feet. So Tara, take a big deep breath here. Yeah, see how necessary that felt, right? So you also want to pay attention when people need to breathe and remind them if they're not doing it themselves. And so that's really simple. You don't really need to do any kind of opening or closing sequence. You just kind of pull away, maybe in every center if you want. You know, that's ideal if you can. And you will notice that there are some that need more work than others. So, and then you can, you know, just if you want to, you can end just giving them a little shoulder rub if you feel comfortable doing that, because that just kind of helps. That human touch at the end is really nice too. So that's it. It's super simple. You know, hold points on the body. The sternum's great, but you can hold the third eye. I wouldn't go to the top of the head right off the bat, right? Sometimes the head does a little much. So start on the body, and then if you want to go to the third eye or the head, you know, because it feels like the thing to do, you can. Okay, and then dig into those shoulders, because that always feels great, and then do this pulling away. And in less than 10 minutes, you can really shift somebody's state and get them from being like to being like okay. So it's a great tool, obviously, to use on yourself, but also to help others with. Awesome. Thanks.